Hi everyone, my name is Keisha Grant. I'm a news anchor for NBC Connecticut, which means I bring the news into your home every single day. But today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to talk about a very important topic, and we're going to hear from children like you, and like my children, Grant and Arabella. We have a lot of other fun surprises too. Are you ready? Are you guys ready?
Yeah!
We're ready. Let's get started.
This is an NBC Connecticut Kids Connection special presentation.
Let's talk about race. Proudly brought to you by ACEs.
What is race? Do you know what it means?
It means the color of your skin.
Very good, Arabella and Grant. The term race means dividing people into groups based on physical characteristics that you were born with, like the color of your skin. For example, my skin is dark, and I'm described as a black person or an African American. Both are correct. But there are all sorts of different color skin types. You may be white, tan, brown, or black like me. And while the color of your skin is a part of who you are, you know what? It really shouldn't matter because we are all the same on the inside. Think of the people you know and what you like about them. I'll bet skin color isn't why you like them. I'll bet you like people for who they are and what you do together and how they make you feel. But some people don't think that way. And all throughout history, people have been judged by the color of their skin. Now people of all different skin types are speaking out to make sure everyone is treated equally. Have you heard the saying, Black Lives Matter? Maybe you've seen it on signs on lawns in your neighborhood. This is a movement to show people that Black lives are just as important as all other lives. There have been rallies in Connecticut over the last few months, and some local dads and their children attended.
If your life matters, so does ours.
Just getting you to understand that it's different being black than it is being white. It's different, and you feel different when you go places.
These two dads took their kids with them to Black Lives Matter rallies to help them understand why people are so upset. Caden and Layla's dad, Al Coy, explained who George Floyd was.
A black person who died by a bad police officer.
And what happened to him.
I learned that that wasn't good.
They asked a lot of questions. One of the questions they asked was, why is it happening? And they asked, are all police officers like that? Unfortunately, the officers involved were the bad officers. Most officers are the good ones.
He is doing his best to prepare his kids for what they might experience as they get older. Some people might treat them differently because of the color of their skin.
They need to know. They need to know what's going on so they can be safe and they can know what to do if a situation arises.
That's been for centuries, right? And we've known that. But for some reason, there's change right now. And so I think we got to get on board.
Malcolm Yelling is encouraged by what he saw on the Windsor Town Green in June, a Black Lives Matter rally organized by high school students. His eldest daughter was one of the speakers. He brought his younger daughter to listen.
I'm listening to people protesting and using their voice and basically helping our community.
Summer told us some of what she heard made her sad and scared. But it was also a good experience, a chance to spend time together as a family and to see people coming together for the same purpose.
I learned that a bunch of people support Black Lives Matter, and that's really good because we need to spread the word.
I liked walking for George Floyd.
I would like to go to another rally, but I also don't because I don't want there to be another reason for there to be a rally.
And when something seems wrong, it's important to speak up for yourself and for others.
Making my voice heard is basically teaching my kids to have a voice. That's how I see it.
Voice is all we have, right? And it seems to me that the youth, they're the big difference here. They're bringing this movement out.
Speaking up is only part of the solution. Someone also has to listen. And these dads say it's clear from the rallies that people are listening.
They care as a human being about another human being.
And that's why we all come together. And that's why I bring the little ones to witness it, because it's for them.
Al Coy and Malcolm Yelling hope these experiences will help shape their children as they grow up. And while Summer, Caden, and Layla are still finding their voices, it's clear they plan to make themselves heard.
I hope people don't judge people about their skin color.
If no one hears my voice, then no one will really know me.
There would be nothing to be afraid of as long as you use your voice and listen to others. And you can still use your voice, even if you weren't up on stage. You can still spread the word.
We ask Connecticut boys and girls a question. When it comes to your friends, how important is it that your friend look just like you?
Color of someone's skin doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you look like. It matters how you make people feel.
Kids just like you all over Connecticut are proving friendship comes first, and being different doesn't matter.
She's my best friend. It doesn't matter that she's black and I'm white. We're just best friends.
Friendship is about sharing good times. Liking the same activities goes a long way.
We normally bike around the community.
What I like to do for fun is run and play hockey.
As best friends, you can decide what you want to do.
Play basketball with them.
I like my best friends when they hug me.
When it comes to choosing new friends, all kids agree on one thing.
I look for in a friend to be kind.
Kindness is what really counts. Kind.
That's right. When asked what they want in a friend, kids put kindness at the top of their list. Whether that friend looked like them or not didn't matter. And if you're lucky enough to find a friend who's kind, makes you laugh, and loves to do the same things you do, it won't matter to you either.
Coming up next, are you ready for an awesome art project that has all the colors of the rainbow? We'll show you how you can make your very own colorful play-doh with ingredients from your kitchen. NBC Connecticut's Kids Connection will be right back.
You're watching Kids Connection on NBC Connecticut. Let's talk about race.
Hi everybody, this is Mike Heideck with my daughter Molly. We have an at-home project you could do so easy, a small list of ingredients and an adult is all you need. Today we're going to teach you how to make your very own homemade Play-Doh.
To make Play-Doh, you need flour, salt, cream of tartar, canola oil different from vegetable oil,
Yes.
and water.
Okay, and the first thing you need to do is take all the dry ingredients and mix them in a giant saucepan on your stove. So Molly's going to start with the flour. Go ahead.
All right.
All right. Next up.
Salt,
Okay.
almost out of sugar,
Okay. And
cream of tartar,
yeah. Up next is
canola oil
okay. And next we
is
do.
the 2 cups of water,
Next thing you have to do is grab
a spoon.
and what do you got to do?
You have to take your spoon and mix all your ingredients together. Once you have most of the lumps out, that's where my daddy comes in.
Right. And this is also where you have to, let's stick over here, hello. This is also where you have to get your adult because this needs, your stovetop needs to be turned on medium heat, which I will do right now. And that means we have to get our number down to 5.
Yeah.
And as you stir it, it'll start to thicken. So you got to keep stirring it until it gets all nice and thick, right? So let's take a look inside the pot. And you can see just how thick and lumpy it's getting, like this. And it'll continue to do that as the heat does its thing. And afterwards, you just have to shut it off and then let it cool. So this is what it looks like when it starts to get lumpy. And we did a batch earlier to show you how the whole thing works. So that is the finished product. We are gonna each take a couple of clumps and make a ball out of it. All right, and I'm gonna take another one. And then afterwards,
I'll do...
We add the magic of color, right?
You take your pointer finger,
Okay.
and you have your dough in a ball. You poke it, which makes a tiny hole. Tiny hole. And then, like so, you put the dye into the hole.
I love the fact that all of these colors are so diverse. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of my friends at work and at home, you know, and how we look all different, but it's really about what's inside and how much fun we have together and how much creativity they have and how much we inspire each other. So it really doesn't matter what color of the rainbow you are, it's about sort of what's on the inside is most important. That's the same for you, right? For school and activities and stuff?
Well, yeah. Some of my friends come from all over the world.
Yeah?
One of them comes from India, one's from Romania, one's from Lebanon. One even has their own farm.
That's really cool. So you can understand why it's really about what's on the inside. And look at how the colors are transforming here in this Play-Doh. Really neat, right? So, the moral of the story is your friends may look like a different color of the rainbow than you do, but it's about what's inside and if you have fun together, right?
Yeah.
We hope you had fun with our homemade Play-Doh project.
See you next time and stay safe.
Coming up next, did you know that right here in Connecticut, a long time ago, a group of people fought for their freedom and won? It happened on a ship just like this one, and we'll tell you all about it. Plus, check out these beautiful murals painted by a local artist in New Haven. We'll introduce you to the character Joy. We'll be right back with more Kids Connection.
You're watching Kids Connection on NBC Connecticut. Let's talk about race.
Hi everyone, I'm NBC Connecticut's Leslie Mays. Did you know that right here in our state, there's a huge piece of early American history? It's an interesting ship named the Amistad, and it has an amazing story. So let's learn more about it.
If you take a trip to Mystic Seaport, you can see a replica of the Amistad. In the 1800s, the Amistad carried people who'd been stolen from Africa to be sold as slaves in Cuba. Those people rebelled, fought to get back their freedom, and won. Now there is a Discovering Amistad program that was created to teach students about the Amistad story in a new and dynamic way, and I'm excited to share it with you.
The first time I ever heard about the Amistad was Discovering Amistad. I did not hear about it through history in my school.
Antonia and Palin have spent their summer learning the amazing story of the Amistad.
When I first saw the Amistad ship, I felt very excited because it was like seeing history come to life before my very own eyes.
For more than 200 years before the Amistad set sail, Africans were kidnapped from their homeland, bought and sold, and forced into hard labor by their captors. This inhumane practice was called slavery. When the Amistad set sail, there were 53 African men and children aboard who had been kidnapped from their homes. The Amistad crew planned to sell them into slavery. Using a loose snail from the ship, the captives escaped their chains and took control of the boat from their kidnappers. It was the first known successful slave rebellion on the high seas.
Rebellions on slave ships were not uncommon, but successful rebellions were uncommon. And the Amistad was the very first successful rebellion that we know about.
But their freedom wouldn't last long. They sailed to the coast of Connecticut, ending up in New Haven. With the help of American lawyers and former U.S. President John Quincy Adams, the fight to release the Amistad captives went all the way to the Supreme Court. It was right here in Connecticut that their right to freedom was proven, and the Africans were allowed to return to their homeland and their families.
Just the fact that they went through all of that and then came here and actually got to go back home is just crazy.
Even if they didn't know that it was going to turn out right, they had the hope and the passion to want to be free and want to be able to free themselves. So it was very empowering for me to see.
Today, the story of the Amistad comes to life for a new generation who visits the seaport in Mystic.
People also can just learn that there was strength. Even back then, even throughout the problems that they faced, there was a bunch of strength. It wasn't just these people who just let themselves be carried away. These people rose up
The ship in Mystic is a recreation of the original Amistad.
Some people think, why would you want to rebuild a slave ship? Well, we don't call it a slave ship because it wasn't built for that originally. We see it differently as a freedom ship, a ship symbolizing freedom.
Kai hopes everyone will take the time to see the Amistad replica and learn more about the incredible story that it was inspired by.
It's an important story. Amazing people of all walks of life, of all backgrounds, including white folks from Connecticut, came together to fight for the rights of the Amistad Africans.
And even if you aren't from the African American race, you can still come down here and see yourself in that boat and see the strength and see the power that those people face coming over and that they overcame everything.
So it's a story for Connecticut to be proud of.
Do you want to know more about the Amistad and the people in this story, or even see the Amistad replica in person? Well, you and your family can find out more by going to nbcconnecticut.com/kidsconnection.
Hey everybody, I'm NBC Connecticut's Michael Fuller, and we're here in New Haven at City Hall, where a new window wall of art has been created to inspire and to change the lives of kids just like you.
I wanted to present a black kid having fun.
Meet Isaac Bloodworth. Isaac is a local artist with an important message.
I want black kids to not feel like their skin is the problem.
Isaac wants black children to always see the best in themselves and be full of happiness, which is why he named this character, whom he designed, Joy. Joy is a young man and the star of this art piece called Black Kid Joy.
The pinkness is like soda waves and like candy and all the things that are sweet. The character Joy is synonymous with me and just the embodiment of black joy, like, and for all the black kids that exist. This is gonna live on past just me, and it's gonna make some black kids somewhere feel good about it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our time here today in New Haven and that you leave knowing that you are special just the way you are.
Get excited. It's almost story time. Grab a blanket and snuggle up for a book that talks about why being different makes you special. Kids Connection comes back in just 2 minutes.
Welcome back, everyone. I have a very exciting book to share with you. Today, we're going to learn about racism. That may be a new word to you or just a confusing one. What does it really mean? How do people feel when they experience it, and how will you know when it happens? Let's find out together with this book. It's called A Kid's Book About Racism by Jelani Memory. This is a book about racism, for reals. And yes, it really is for kids. It's a good book to read with a grown-up because you'll have lots to talk about afterward. Just you? That's okay, keep reading. The book won't bite. Now to introduce myself. My name is Jelani. My skin color looks like this, right there. If you're colorblind, this is the color brown. Because my dad is black and my mom is white, which makes me mixed, or African American, biracial, black, or a person of color. I'm proud of who I am and the color of my skin, but because of my skin color, people aren't always nice to me. Sometimes I get called names, or other times it's worse. The person doing it might not even realize that it hurts me a lot. And when they treat me that way, it makes me feel small. You see, some people believe that having different color skin means you're not as good as others. That's called racism. What is racism? Racism means to hate someone, exclude them, or treat them badly because of their race or the color of their skin. And it happens all the time. Not just in big ways, but sometimes it shows up in small ways, ways that are almost invisible. Like a look, a comment, a question, a thought, a joke, a word, or a belief. Racism is one of the worst kinds of mean someone can be, because racism thinks being different is bad. But, very big letters there, being different is actually good. Like really, actually a whole page of reallys. Really good 1000% good. Because being different means we have so much more to offer each other. Things like help, ideas, strength, skills, creativity, life, patience, respect, community, love, knowledge, experience, perspective, insight, diversity, wisdom, empathy, and originality. That whole being different thing, it makes us better, much better. So if you see someone being treated badly, made fun of, excluded from playing, or looked down on because of the color of their skin, call it racism. And I'm sure if you watch the news, you see that we grown-ups are still learning about this as well. It's just a great story, and I certainly hope it helped you understand what racism is and why you never want to judge anyone or treat them differently because of the color of their skin. Until next time, thanks for joining me for Storytime.
If you're a fan of Storytime, we have another great book that we think you will enjoy. It's called The Colors of Us by Karen Katz. This story is about a 7-year-old girl named Lena, and in it, Lena learns that skin color can come in many different shades. To hear Ted read that story, go to nbcconnecticut.com/kidsconnection.
We hope you enjoyed our show. Everything you saw today can be found on the NBC Connecticut YouTube channel and at nbconnecticut.com/kidsconnection. So grab an adult and you can watch again.
Thanks for watching Kids Connection.